think that I just come in there and look for knockoffs, and that's not the case. I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, well, wait, I'm here. Who wanted to fight me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter can beat me.
Demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all the belts, all of the titles.
Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. Oh man, it's Friday Eve, and I want to talk about some things concerning this old boxing, this good old boxing talk. His twin, Bodywork, salute his twin, Cookie Monster, Bodywork, salute Cookie Monster. How my mic sounding, Cookie Monster? I need that. I need that microphone checker, microphone checker. But I'm pretty sure I sound. Yeah, okay, Cookie Monster. Sounding good. That's what I like to hear, that I'm coming through loud and clear. Man, it's an exciting week in boxing, man. Like I always say, man, boxing, 80% of boxing is good, 20% is the negative, and that's what everybody tends to harp on. And I figure I'll try to do like a nice little fun episode today. I'm still gonna do a little bit of housekeeping, and I'm still gonna talk to a couple things before we get down to the nitty gritty. I do want you all to know that gaslighting is still at an all-time high. It's ever present. Gaslighting is a form of psychological and emotional abuse where a person manipulates another into questioning their own sanity, memory, and most importantly, in my opinion, perception of reality. The term comes from the 1944 film Gaslight, in which a husband manipulates his wife to make her doubt her senses and memories. Gaslighting can lead to confusion, anxiety, isolation, and increased dependence on the abuser, making it harder to leave an abusive situation. See, a lot of people out here online. Healing Honey, salute. What's going on? Bodywork, salute. Healing Honey, I appreciate that. A lot of people don't realize, man, when it comes to content creation, and a lot of these content creators, you are in an abusive relationship, man. These people they are out here gaslighting, man. I thought it couldn't get any higher, man, but apparently it is. And part of my housekeeping, I don't want to steal too much of my own thunder and get ahead of myself. But you got to think, man, some of the terms of gaslighting: lying in denial, minimizing feelings, shifting blame. The big one, distorting the narrative. I got to read that one. changing the subject or twisting the facts to confuse the victim and control the conversation. That is a go-to. You know what I'm saying? That is a go-to. That's like that step back overhand right. You know what I'm saying? That's like a go-to for these guys, man, where they love changing the subject or twisting the facts to confuse the victim and control the conversation. Accusing the victim of being crazy. People say, oh man, you crazy, you deranged. Isolating the victim, like singling people out. Like, you know, and we in this whole high school era where a lot of people like to click up and do all these things, right? And they'll isolate you. You know, they have a tendency to do that. They'll isolate you, pick you out, and make you feel like, oh man, if you speak your mind, if you speak your piece, if you say what's really going on and what you really know, they're gonna isolate you, especially if it's opposite of their opinion. You know, I know a lot of people, man. I've never bear witness to so many people who like to get online, right? But they can't stand when somebody disagree with them. They welcome you to come on and debate and talk and do all of these things, right? But the minute you disagree, the minute you have an alternative opinion, you know what I'm saying? Their other personality come out. You know what I'm saying? They got to start taking their medicine. You know what I'm saying? They might have to take a couple of days off, man, and go, you know, and do all that stuff like meditation and extra praying and extra walking and breathing exercises. And they might have to up that medication. You know what I'm saying? They might have to book an appointment, you know, have a Zoom meeting, you know, or something, you know, to get themselves together. But I digress. Let me get into this housekeeping, man, so we can go ahead and get to the fun. I was talking to my homie earlier, man, and let me put this up here. Talking to my homie earlier, and we was having some conversations about business, and I would say that this first one in housekeeping, man, it just reminds me of a lot of the conversations in boxing, whereas hindsight will forever be 2020, man. And we was laughing and joking because it's like some people, they got to scrape their knees, they got to bust their shins, they got to head straight into that brick wall head first, get a concussion, you know what I'm saying, fuck their neck up, you know, damn near be getting ready to get a check for the rest of their life before they actually see it and be like, oh, Eureka, I understand now. From the earliest times, there has been very few times where I was ever one of those people that had the seed to believe. You know, I always would pay attention, you know, and I learned early that wisdom is knowledge gained through experience, but it doesn't have to be your experience. Like real wisdom can be transferred by somebody telling you or showing you something to where you don't have to go through that experience necessarily in order for you to start believing. Now, I'm not saying I didn't ever get in no trouble and make my mistakes. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is I'm not one of them. I was never one of them people that I had to really bust my knees up or scrape my shins up for me to really understand what's going on. But a lot of these people, especially in boxing, man, it always tickles me how these content creators will gaslight the shit out of you in real time and tell you, oh, they'll take a firm, hard stance on something, knowing all of the time. And I'm like, it's almost like it's laughable to me now when I see it being done, because I know what they're doing. And I'm like, all right, if that's how you want to get your money. But I'm like, to me, it just shows that you lack creativity. You know, you lack creativity, man. And you're going to take that hard stance because you know that we're in the era now where people like the sensationalism, right? People will sit around and they will talk about that 20%, 7 days a week. They'll harp on that, and it's like, okay, well, so what's good? What's really going on with, like, according to you and what you putting out? Ain't nothing going on good with the sport. Ain't nothing going on good with this boxing. Ain't nothing going on good with these promotional companies. Ain't nothing going on good with anything. Every show is a bitch, a gripe, a complaint. Every, or a twist, where you take a hard stance, and then, in hindsight, you'll come around and be like, oh yeah, I knew, so I knew. And it's like, well, we knew. And like, some of us have already, like, there's certain channels out here, I already know when people are bullshitting. It's like, man, I would enjoy your show so much more if you just stop all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be a hindsight as 2020. That's a form of gaslighting, especially when we can see right through you. A lot of y'all be online so much, doing so much content, you don't have time to qualify the shit that you putting out. You don't even have time. And I'm gonna tell y'all, it's a lot of these older guys, they like Jay-Z. You know what Jay-Z did? Jay-Z, he went and got a J. Cole, he had a Memphis Bleak, he had a Beanie Siegel, he had a Kanye West, he had a Young Guns with Chris and Neef. He had all of this talent that he would sign, vampire the shit out of them, right? Jack their style, because a lot of people be like, oh yeah, I saw your channel. Oh, shout out to this and salute to this, and all because you sat on Santa Claus' lap, right? You get the glowing endorsement, and you don't realize that you getting vampired. Stop allowing them to do this. Make these motherfuckers stand out on their own too. They put out information. They always want to break news. They always want to come around in hindsight and tell you, oh, I was wrong about that, and I knew. And it's like, we know. But some of y'all are going to be hindsight is 2020s, and it's not going to be until you have a disagreement with this or that individual to where the light bulb is going to pop off. They're going to spaz out on you, and it's going to be off with your motherfucking head until they calm down and get back on their motherfucking meds. That's just what it is. I've been doing this for long enough, and I done it on my own too. I didn't need no glowing endorsement. I didn't need to go sit on Santa Claus' lap. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to go and pay homage and do all this and bend the knee and kiss the ring and all this Godfather shit, because I just didn't want to do that. That's just not me. If I was boxing, I probably wouldn't even go holler at Turkey Al Sheik. He'll probably be pursuing me, because I'll be in this tunnel vision doing my thing, regardless of what's going on around me. I would be holding it down. Do not be a hindsight as 2020. I'm starting to see that a lot of y'all out here, y'all have a lot of creativity, a lot of personality. You have something unique. You have your own unique fingerprint. You have your own thing that you could be doing, your own thing that you could add onto the sport, to where your target audience is going to be attracted to you for what you do and how you are. Not because of your affiliation and how many people can come and sit around the water cooler and talk with you and shit like that. But stop being these hindsight as 2020 as to where you take hard stances knowing that you fucking wrong the whole time, and then flip over and be like, oh yeah, in hindsight, I see now. I once was blind and now I can see looking at it. You know what I'm saying? That this shit's getting old. The other thing is, I figured out a lot of people online, just like these boxers, y'all can dish it, but you can't take it. You can dish it, but you can't take it. When I look at what's going on with Boots right now, right, and the treatment he's getting, where people are really, they really putting him under that microscope. You know what I'm saying? They really doing my exercise when I want to know the length, the width, the breadth, the depth, the buoyancy, the capacity. I want to know it all. The volume. We put everybody on the scale. We judge them accordingly. Like, if it's the same thing, we put them all under the same scale. Do you have this advantage? Do you have that advantage? Who's more active? Who are they saying is more athletic? Who has the higher boxing IQ? Who has the better coach? Who has the better promotion? Like, we analyze them all, but I told y'all, there's some people to where you get out here and you start talking this boxing talk, and it's like, it's hands off. You can't do the same thing that you do with everybody else. But they'll have people, right, that back certain fighters to where they are so critical of everybody else. You know what I'm saying? They always digging up somebody's ass with a flashlight. They're all up under somebody's fingernails. You know what I'm saying? They could probably tell you what color boxers you got on, or that boxer got on, or what he did yesterday, or how he like his eggs. I can't tell you a lot of that shit. But they do that with everybody else. And the minute that they get inside the motherfucking crosshairs, they get uncomfortable. They butt start itching. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hold on, man. You was dishing it, now take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, chuck it up. Like, y'all remember on Baby Boy when he said, nah, little nigga, nah, chuck it up. When he had to stand there, you know what I'm saying? He had to chuck it up and take it. Like, take it, because you be out there throwing haymakers. A lot of y'all be out here throwing haymakers. And the minute somebody put y'all in the crosshairs, right, and start squeezing your little walnuts with them vice grips, y'all start acting all soft. That's unbecoming. You gotta have thick skin in this boxing on these YouTube streets, right? You can't panic, man. You can never let them see you sweat. You know what I'm saying? That's part of that's just part of the house cleaning. And the last thing I want to say is, man, don't become the fans that you despise, right? You know what I'm saying? I was sitting here listening and watching some people yesterday, man, because I watch, I listen, you know, I get a pulse. I see what's going on. I see who's playing this. I see who's pushing this agenda. I see who's campaigning for this. I see who's not trying to keep it real, who's lying, who's massaging the truth, who's outright cocksucking. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to change for tuberculosis. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to change, man. He's going to be clean up, man, for the rest of his life until Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying, and DHP gets out of here. He's going to be playing cleanup. Like, he's not going to miss a drop. You know what I'm saying? That's just what he's going to do. But do not become the fan that you despise, man. If you can't stand with fans, because listen, I see that it's a whole lot of full-time, partially thorough ass niggas out here. It's like you're thorough in everything except for when somebody challenges you in your stance. Then you want to do partial. Then you want to be partial. Then you want to, like, you don't want to go all in depth. Why? Because they challenge your stance, and it's just like you do the good enough method. You do the good enough. But when you got somebody in they crosshairs, you got a laundry list of things that they got to answer and things they got to overcome and things that they got to do and say in order to get you to have a warm and fuzzy inside. You know, it's kind of crazy because I seen a couple interviews from Eddie, and I try not to do this because Eddie is a master promoter. Eddie can promote the shit. If it's just for promotion, if it's about that mouthpiece getting behind you and being in the lights and painting the pictures and, you know what I'm saying, his little, you know, he's seasoned and tenured in it. So promoting your name, putting your name up in lights, saying the things like in your fights, or, you know, day before the fight, weeks before the fight, or even getting the internet in a frenzy, he's brilliant at doing that. He came out and did the same thing. A lot of people were spazzing out. A lot of people got cursed out. Like, some people probably lost friends this week because they started doing an honest assessment on Boots and they started asking all these questions. And Eddie came on and proved everybody, like, people that was like, you know, I said I had stock in Boots and I'm holding my shares. I said I'm not going out. I'm not aggressively copping any. I'm not dumping. You know what I'm saying? I'm just holding right now. I'm holding my shares. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of shares in them. I'm just going to hold my shares. I'm not buying. I'm not selling. I'm just holding. And I'm watching the market, and I'm seeing what's going on with him. But Eddie just came on and confirmed everything. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of things I didn't get to say the other night when I was actually doing the whole Boots in the Z on borrowed time. There's a lot of things I didn't get to because I was thinking about, you know, things that I came across and things that I wanted to say and things that I wanted to. But I'm like, it's good that I didn't say it because Eddie came on and proved it. He basically said that they knew that they wasn't really going to fight nobody. They knew that regardless of how it was going to go, Boots was going to want to come up and see how his body felt at 154. So he knew that taking somebody like Lima, that's what it was going to be. So all of the, you know, I sent the offer to Conwell because they tried to double down on that. I sent the offer to Speedy Rashidi, all of that, the whole Virgil ducked me. Like, all of that shit goes, and that's why I be trying to tell you it's the tale of two Eddies and why we can't be getting caught up in this. You got to appreciate the fighter. If you are an only fan, it's nothing nobody can really do to stop you from being an only fan. You know what I'm saying? And every boxer, I guess, they need their share of only fans. I mean, no matter what, when the chips are down, that's your guy. You're gonna support him. You know what I'm saying? That's your guy or that's your girl. Everybody needs that. Everybody needs that. Wilder needs that. Like his OnlyFans, they still holding him up. They still pushing him out. I think some of them are setting him up because, you know, they want to do content on him. Like, you know, this is what I know, right? This is what I realized, right? And we're gonna get into them. We're gonna start having some fun and we're gonna open this up. I'm gonna get right into the meat and potato. But this is what I learned, y'all. If y'all don't take anything else from what I'm saying and what I be putting out here on YouTube, right? Is this. I know I can identify true fans when the boxers that you like represent more than just content. Let me say it again. I know that somebody is truly a fan of somebody when the fighter that they support is more than just content. I'm only gonna say it one more time. This is my last time. I know when I hear somebody speak about somebody, especially over an extended period of time, you know what I'm saying? Not just once, not just when they trying to sell whatever they selling or whatever. I know over an extended period of time, whether or not somebody really rocks with somebody or not, is that when they talk about them or when they come up, I can tell that they truly support them because they see them in a manner in which it's more than just content. We got haters out here that just come by and do a short because they know they're gonna get a couple thousand views. They're gonna do a short video, a 13-minute clip, a 12-minute clip, a 3-minute clip, because the stuff that they're talking about is just content. It's, oh, this part of my short form, or this part of my long form, or this part of my live. And all this shit is just content. It's business. Right? But they can't understand when boxers treat the sport like it's just business. Let that sink in, y'all. What's up, AC? Easily baked. Oh, yeah.
What's good, bro? I was just doing some research. It was a question that I asked myself, talking about Gary Antoine Russell. It was just something I wanted to see, because I made an observation and I was just trying to see, was my observation correct in that Andy Hiroka is taller and he does have a significant reach advantage over Gary Antoine. So I got Gary winning, but I believe it might be a tough fight for him stylistically. But outside of that, man, you made a point that I actually wrote down, and it was concerning content creators and the whole hindsight is 2020 type of attitude.
Mm-hmm.
If your favorite content creator has more of a hindsight is 2020 type of situation, start to look at the other percentage of his content or her content, and you'll find yourself probably looking at someone who's just really, really good at reactionary things. They see an article, oh, I'm going to cook on it, and this is my reaction to what I read. And they're telling you that these reactions are actual content created. That shit is no different than Rob Dyrdek's fucking ridiculousness. There is no content to be created because the content was already created. You're reacting off of the work of someone else that actually wrote the story, that actually is looking at something, or you heard a channel breaking down a specific topic, and when you hear it or see it, then you feel like, oh, I need to do a video on the same topic because I want to give my take and my reaction to it. And it's like, okay, where was the content? Where are you ahead of, the reaction? You put out the video that causes everyone else to react. Where are you on that? Where's your favorite content creator on that? And if that's not what it is, you're more than likely on a channel that's gaslighting the shit out of you, out of reactions, not out of content. And they keep telling you, these other content creators, I don't see nobody talking about this. Yeah, because you're just reacting. So they're all gonna do their thing when you feel what I'm saying. And my last point to that is just a strong statement. There is no creativity in a reaction. It's just not there. So if that's the case, then that's not boxing news that you're getting. You're getting boxing reactions. So
And salute L Dub, salute Boom, Cookie Monster, Easily Baked. Who else? Hill and Honey. We got a nice look. His twin. Salute to everybody, man. I appreciate the company. And L Dub said I created some content. I predicted Boots versus Lima back in June. Now here we go. Yeah, and that's why I used to always say, man, go support L Dub, because I used to see us being in the same vein in the fact that we do a lot of the skeleton work of it. And that's one thing that when I first saw L Dub, that's one thing what I liked in his channel, because he provides structure. Like if you don't know what's going on and when it's going on and who's who, and he watches enough boxing to where he can actually tell you about the fighter. You know what I'm saying? And like people that do work like that, like what L Dub does, they don't get the credit because it's not salacious. It's not, it's more like it's the necessary things. It's like keeping you on schedule, like current events, news, having some dialogue, telling you this, telling you a little bit about that, whatever. And it's like, and I know a lot of people probably be like pilfer from him in the thing that he do, but he's right. That's the kind of content he do. That's what he do. He'll lay it out for you and tell you who's fighting this week. He'll cover a little bit about the boxers, who we think gonna win, and this like that. So he really be like, he's really a student of the game. He's not really going to do anything really salacious. So sub to L Dub. You know what I'm saying? He's right. But what's up, Boom?
Just to land this plane. Hold on, Boom. Just to land this plane real quick, because I noticed somebody gave a talking point in their last video.
I just subbed up to L Dub too, by the way, y'all.
That was something that I said over and over and over and over again, and that was Tim Bradley talking about Boots. But I'll let what's the name come in, and I'll if we get into that subject, then I'll bring it up, because I was just, not Boots, it was about Devin Haney. And I'll just say it right now. Basically, it was this. When I was talking on a larger channel, and we were having a discussion about Devin Haney, I was like, look, I'm a big Devin Haney fan. I've been on panels where it's just me against 9 other people, and I'm the only person that's holding it down for Dev. But me being a fan of Dev, I can't see any way that he wins. Everything he does wrong gets him knocked out by Brian Norman. And I just seen Tim Bradley basically say the same fucking thing.
He did that the other day, yeah. Because he used the same verbiage. Because he said it was the exact same verbiage, dog.
AC not lying though. Tim Bradley did say that, but the only thing that I think that keeps Devin safe is him moving around the ring, moving his head, using his footwork, and just boxing the shit out of Brian Norman. But to sit there and try to have a dog fight with him, and you know what I mean, just try to bang out with him is crazy, bro. Like it's really crazy. So I don't know, man. I like this fight though, because it wakes up the division and it lets you know who's number one for real. Because they saying Brian Norman is, but I don't know. I like Brian Norman versus Rolly. I like that fight.
I like that fight too.
Yeah, I like
lot, bro.
Man, I like. And then you know what else fight I like at 47? Garcia versus what's his name? Barrios. Just so Barrios can knock. Garcia can finally become world champion. Instead of being a TikTok superstar, now you could be a boxing superstar. Being champion. I don't know, but I really would like to see Like now that I think about it, I really would like to see Norman pull off the upset just so we can get a Rolly versus him unification. That'd be crazy.
Oh, that's the fight. That's what I'm hoping. That's why I'm hoping for this, because I really think that that fight is possible for unification. I also like, being that he's one of the names that we'll be talking about, is Ryan Garcia versus Rohan Polanco once Ryan
Yeah,
get that belt.
yeah, that's good. That's a good one too. Or even what's his nuts? Ryan versus Lewis Crocker. That's an easy world champion fight for him too. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, so you see, I don't know if you could see the thumbnail, but
yep, I see it.
that's pretty much all. You know, when we talking about 140 and 147,
Yeah,
we looking to see. All right, we got the steamed milk right now. We got the hot coffee with the right amount of sugar. We gonna put the decoration in, and we gonna see what cream rises. Like, who's gonna be the decoration? Who gonna be the Christmas?
who's gonna be the cream
mob?
de la
You
creme?
know, exactly. Who gonna rise and put their stamp and ownership on 140 and 147?
Nah, for
Even
sure.
154 could actually be in it. And I just mentioned it because at the tail end of when we was talking about this, was saying, listen, at 54 right now, to me, as a fan of
Who is the champion at WBC? Who is that?
Abbas Abreu.
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, so basically
My bad.
54 is looking like 140, because you know, at any given time, any of these guys could lose. Although Bakaram is the bad man of the division, we don't have a lot of footage on him, so we don't really know what he'll do when he get in the ring with maybe a fucking Sebastian Fundora.
Hey, can I speak on something about Bakram real quick?
Good.
I'm tired of people fronting they move like they really know this dude. Like they've been watching him like he's this yeah, he got power and shit, but I'm tired of motherfuckers talking about him like they done watched him for a long time. You know what I mean? Like, let's let his name cook a little bit in the division. Let's see what he do. Let's see a couple defenses. Whoop-de-woo and blase blah. But for certain people to just act like they know this Bakram kid, like, we don't know this Bakram dude. Motherfuckers need to stop flogging for real, man.
Yeah, I only know Bakram. What solidified me with Bakram is
what's his last fight with Tim Tszyu, right?
No, it was that fight, but I also saw old footage with him and Baturviev.
Okay.
Him, Baturviev, and Stanionis were all in the same gym training at one point. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay, now I see why Baturviev sometimes talks about this dude in some of his, you know, obscure interviews, that you just be looking at Baturviev or trying to do a YouTube search. You're going to find all of these interviews that are not in English. You got a translator, and he'll talk about certain other people that he sparred with and been in the gym with. And you'd be like, oh, Bakaram was one of them dudes.
And y'all need to make sure, not y'all, not you and AC, not AC and Body, but everybody that's listening and everybody out there, y'all need to make sure y'all putting respect on that man's name too, because he done went up and fought some guys. Like, I really like, I like Better Beef, man. I like him. So he dared to be great against Bivol. You know what I mean? He took a couple risks. Let's make sure that man keep getting that respect that he deserves, because that motherfucking cold. That's some real shit. Go ahead though, AC.
No, that's basically it. It's bringing you up to speed. And
hell yeah, appreciate
what's the name? And Body giving me carte blanche to just lay out where the agenda was behind what you see in this thumbnail. So, you know, I like Frank Martin fight that he taking, because the dude gonna come forward and he gonna punch. I like that fight. I really do, and I'm gonna watch it because you know what, Rance is gonna take a risk, and this is the time for Frank Martin to show his skill, his capability, his IQ, his power, his punch placement. This is everything for him right now. So I like this fight. For him. I want this to be something good for Frank. So I'm definitely looking to watch it for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of Frank, I'll let everybody know, man. Now this happened a lot with guys, and when they fight Tank, it's like I'm a fan of a lot of other boxers, It's just that when they up against Tank, I be having Tank. It's only a certain amount of them that kind of like give me a little concern. And out of all of the people, if he were to rematch, in my opinion, that's probably the most dangerous rematch for Tank right now. Out of all of the ones that he fight, because I didn't expect for Frank to come out the way he did, and he just started making them mistakes, and Tank got him out of there. But I was a big Frank Martin fan before that fight took place. It's just once it got lined up, it's like, well, you know, Tank is my guy, so you know what I'm saying, I'm riding with my guy. But I always thought that Frank was nice. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see him against Shakur. I was upset when that fight fell apart. And I said, no, Frank. But just like everything else, I said, Frank, you can't pull out of that, man. I had to go in, you know what I'm saying? And then it wound up fixing itself when he got aligned with Tank. But I really thought he messed up when he didn't fight Shakur. You know what I'm saying? I thought it would have served him better to fight Shakur, but he wound up getting paid. We don't know who he is, but I'm hearing that he's with Buddy McGirt now because
his name Rancis.
Yeah, well, that's his opponent.
He fought.
I'm saying
he fought Jose, but go ahead. My bad.
But his new trainer is Buddy McGirt.
Oh, okay, that's lit. That's lit.
Yeah, and he was saying that, you know, he was basically saying that he took to him like a fish take the water because of their styles and what Buddy McGirt. I guess they speak the same boxing language, which is good because I'm always nervous when somebody has a coach and then they suffer a loss, and then it's like you going somewhere. It's like I hate seeing that. You know, sometimes it's due, but I'm glad that they sound like they got chemistry. That guy Rancis, he's tall, he's long, he's a little awkward. I think he has more than respectable power.
Yeah. Hey, how awkward would you say? My bad, but how awkward would you say? Because I definitely think he awkward.
Like that guy Nakatilia, like how he is, to where it's like, yeah, you mess around and let him, if he line you up or he catch you slipping, catch you in the turning lane, he could turn your lights out, you know what I'm saying? But he's not, his form ain't, you know, it's not like, his form is not like typical boxing. He move different, you know. If you want to see, like, I'll put it like this. He's awkward enough to where like a surgeon like Shakur that like a clean pocket and like, you know what I'm saying, everything, he would probably be awkward. Like it'll be just like when he fought Nakatilia. It's like you gotta figure him out. You gotta be cautious of what's coming back. But if you work your magic, go to the body, you know what I'm saying, work your thing and stay disciplined. Don't cut no corners. You can get past him.
Yeah, that motherfucker come forward too. He was popping Jose Ramirez. He was popping his ass for sure.
And between Frank Martin, I would say Devin and Boots, I have a new rule. Just like I have made a new rule once, but when Bud and Errol fought, that caused me a new rule and a new mindset. But I got a new rule after these guys. If the subject matter is I was weight drained, then I'm going to flip the script and say, well, you were weight bullying. So from now on, when I hear people say, oh man, you weight drained and couldn't, and I'm going to equate that to where you was weight bullying, because that's starting to be too convenient now. And a lot of people try to take away from fighters when they say stuff like that, because a lot of people like Dirk was taken away. Well, I ain't gonna say he was taken away, but he was saying the way Boots looked was because he was weight drained. A lot of people were saying Frank in that whole Tank thing was because he was weight drained. I'm like, well, when he was getting the victories, when he beat Michelle Rivera, he was actually juicing. He put him on his back pockets. He sat down.
Yeah, I don't like that they call that dude Ali. That shit disgusting. Stop doing that shit. I don't like that shit.
Yeah,
that nigga name is Michelle Rivera. That's it. Ain't no.
I think he stopped
Ali.
doing that though. Yeah, after he got caught slipping in the tournament. I think he ate some humble pie, and I didn't like the fact that he got caught juicing, and then right after that he came back and
when
TBG,
he got caught
in the Frank fight.
Oh wow, okay.
And Frank still beat him. But you know, I'm glad that Frank is in a healthy place. I really wanted to see Frank get it on with Keyshawn. That's really was like that was a fight that I really wanted to see at 40. You know, under these circumstances, I don't know how it's gonna work. I would love to see Frank up against a Gary Antoine. I would love to see Frank up against a Ryu. Ryu should have been on here. I just don't know what's going on with him because I don't know if he's going back down to 35. But I would definitely want to see.
Ryo, go ahead and move up, bruh.
Who?
Ryo, go ahead and move up. Don't go back down. Don't go. You at 40? All right, well, make your way back up, bruh. Go ahead and just keep growing, bruh. Just keep growing. Find you a weight class you get comfortable in, and you know what I mean? Whether you win or lose, bruh. Don't he got like 3 losses?
He got Chris Colbert. He got Edwin De Los Santos. He got Gary Antoine.
So he lost to them 3 niggas?
Yeah. But he got, I mean, you know,
but he got world champion right now, right?
No, Gary Antoine relieved him of his strap. Gary Antoine relieved him of his strap.
So he's one of those fan favorite fighters. So regardless of his 3 losses, the fans, even the diehard fans, is like, okay, he got 3 losses. He ain't at gatekeeper status yet.
No, for sure not.
He'll beat He'll beat the top contenders.
And he got a nice resume. He got a nice resume.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He shared the ring with a lot of killers. Like, he shared the ring with some killers.
He'll probably, people will start talking about him as a gatekeeper once he get to like 5 losses. He's one of those guys. You feel what I'm saying? So, I think he's still very, very viable at the 140 division, and he may just be one of those guys that, I took some tough losses, but if the fans are asking for the good fights, the relevant fights, the best fight and the best, the 3 guys I lost to, what can you say about them? You can't say near one of them is a fucking bum.
Yeah, no, hell no. But what I was gonna say, damn, so he not Erickson Lubin Jr. yet, but he close type shit.
Yeah, he's 2. I'm gonna be honest. I think he's 2 losses away before people really start having a conversation. Like, yo, I think Ryo probably just gonna settle in as a a tough ass out for a gatekeeper, or if they got any really solid young prospects.
Hey, correct me
put
if
them in
I'm
there
wrong.
with Ryo, and Ryo gonna teach them something if they don't know nothing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that Gary Antoine had the WBC belt. Nah, you know who had that? Devin Haney. Never mind. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Devin Haney had it, and then Alberto Puello got it, and then Matias took that. So Matias got. This is what it is. That's how we're lining up right now at 40.
Yeah.
So, but let me go into this here. Because this was on the horizon. This was what they were talking about. It was supposed to be Frank Martin and Edwin De Los Santos. They was going to mix it up. Like, and I wanted to see that. You know what I'm saying? We all know what happened with Keyshawn and Edwin De Los Santos. We were actually supposed to get that. We didn't get that, but I wanted to see, because I want to see Frank Martin mix it up with all these guys. And I think that out of all of them opponents, man, I think Frank probably got the highest ceiling. It's just Frank has to, he can't do the Earl. He can't do the Earl, man. He can't, and that, Earl, one of my top three guys, he can't do that off the, like, when he not boxing, he let himself go and he have extracurricular. He can't do that, one, because he's a little older, but I think that being older when he learned kind of helped Frank out a little bit, because he was more mature in learning, but he was just as athletic. And I think that his boxing skills kind of like translated, because Frank Martin beat Virgil Ortiz in the amateur. Like, for him to be a late starter, a late bloomer, Frank Martin came out the gate and made a lot of noise. You know what I'm saying? Coming from the Midwest, And then, you know what I'm saying, moving around and hooking up with, Earl and Derrick James and all that. Like it was a creative path. And I think because of his athleticism and because he's short, much like Tank, when he's like the shorter guy, some people be looking at it like, oh, that's a disadvantage. But some, like when you're short and you're athletic, it can be an advantage if you know how to use it. And I think Frank falls in that category to where he can get up underneath of you. He's twitchy, you know what I'm saying? He definitely got enough power where he could sit you down. I just think that now, I think when he comes back, he's gonna be more confident. That's why I think he's a force to be reckoned with. I just think that kind of like with Ryu, it's not quite like with Ryu. I think Ryu needs a little bit more matchmaking at this point. I would be more lenient with El Ryu being match made more than I would with Frank, but only after he rinsed this rust off. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, okay, Frank, get this rust off. This is an awkward dude. Get this out the way, and then go ahead and go, you know what I'm saying, pursue greatness. You there, AC?
My bad. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I was just doing some research on Frank Martin because I wanted to know basically his height. Well, it's basically saying he's 5'8" with a 68-inch reach, right?
Mm-hmm.
To me, that is the makeup, and he's right in tune with everybody at 47. I look at Frank and I think, all right, 40 is cool, but 47, I think that's where you make your stance. Because at 47, he would be built just like Brian Norman Jr.
Yeah, he wouldn't have to cut.
Exactly.
He wouldn't have to cut. He wouldn't be depleted at all. That's probably closer to where he can walk around at, where he don't really gotta do nothing. It could just be straight training camp.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's conditioning. No, I'm going to cut some of this, sitting around and eating, the mac and cheese once a week or whatever with the fam. But overall, I stay in shape. And for me, I like Frank at 40, but I would be elated of 147-pound Frank. I think Frank going up to 47, he's the type of guy that, people talked about Dev and Ryan coming up, Ryan, and possibly Tio coming up to 40, and that would shake up the division. No. Not like the threat of Frank Martin at 147 pounds. That's just, I just look at him and I'm just like, boy, take your ass to 47, because you could be in that conversation of seriously saying, all right, with your skill set, your body type, your footwork, your defense, and now that you're out here with you said Winky, right? He's
no, Buddy.
Yeah, Buddy. My bad. Now that you out here with Buddy, this may be the fighter Buddy McGirt has been looking for. You have the tangibles of everything, but now I'm going to show you how to put it all together and be the champion.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? And man, listen. Man, if you're gonna do this at 40, take this 1 or 2 fights and then move up. That would be my type of advice if I had the opportunity to be in the ear of a Frank Martin. And if he told me, nah, 40 is just too big, I look like a little chubby dude or whatever, I'd be like, okay, cool. I just really want to see how you fill out and do your thing at 40. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you on when you also said, I'm not going to buy into the excuses anymore of a guy being weight drained. because like it's common sense to say, well, if you were weight trained, then you are actually a weight bully.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's too convenient.
Yeah,
It's too convenient. And then they say, oh well, that's because it's like, oh, he's bigger, stronger, taller, faster, more athletic, dominant. He's not, and then it's like, well, the reason why he was underperformed, and then you get in there with somebody with some footwork. Oh, the reason why he underperformed because he was really draining himself. It's like, man, stop it, man, stop it.
yeah. So if he was really draining himself, that means he never belonged at that weight division. At the end of the day, you never heard of the old school fighters talking about they were weight drained. What you would hear from time to time is they had rehydration issues, and that just comes from being.
You cut out, AC. You cut out, AC.
Out or sweating it out. So you are slowly dehydrating yourself, although you're in peak condition. And this is a real thing between real athletes. So at the end of the day, that we would hear about medical issues like that, but not, oh, I felt I was weight drained. Like, what? Wait a minute. Can you imagine hearing somebody like Floyd, Roy, James Toney, Evander Holyfield, Marvin Hagler talking about, yeah, I lost that fight because I was weight drained.
Yeah, I mean, that's some stuff. I think that's like when it's all said and done. If they doing like a bio on you and they say, man, what you didn't know, and because think about it. It'll be cool if everybody got the credit for it when they did it, but everybody don't do it. Because like when real shit, when Mr. Gary Russell Jr. said that he had to lose 5 pounds, I don't know how his camp did it, but they said that the scale that they had, it wasn't calibrated right. And so he said they looking at the scale, they saying, oh, you on weight. He said he was literally getting on the scale, seeing, he's like, oh man, we good to go. That scale and the scale that they had at the weigh-in was totally different. It was 5 pounds off. He said he had to lose 5 pounds, like in a matter of hours. And when he come out and he tell that story, to where he's like literally like people like, nah, I don't want to hear that. You just lost to Lomachenko. But he dropped Lomachenko, didn't get, and that score was so close to where if he would have got counted for that drop, that would have been a draw.
Yeah,
like so, but he gets no credit for it, so it becomes a popularity thing. So it's like I'm so sick of hearing it now. I'm just like, nah, man. Like I don't want, like, if they do your story later on and you tell us that, and they tell us like, wow, you was able to do, like, to know that, like, just like to know that Frank Martin pretty much beat up Michelle Rivera and put him on his back pockets, and he was juicing. They didn't make no backlash. There wasn't that whole like Ryan in the Austin ring. Michelle Rivera didn't get that. He got an interview where he was able to call Tank a bitch. So if I find out that I was like, oh, okay, so he pop hot and Frank still dropped him, like, that adds more to, that gives me more like, okay, Frank that real deal. Like it didn't matter with Frank.
Yeah, and for me it's like no one knew until way after the fact that Gary Antoine had that issue with the scale and his weight. You feel what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, there was the preemptive jump off of the night, like, you're hearing the announcers say, well, maybe he had a bad training camp. I've heard that he was struggling to make weight. And you hear one of the announcers in real time say it in the ring. And you like, oh shit, that's going to be the talking point. Because he's already got the memo. He already put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, look at this bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? So when it's situations like that, yes, we need to question it. When it comes out and the guy says, a lot of people didn't even know, and I wasn't even trying to make excuses. You know what I'm saying? I still wanted to fight. I still fought my heart out, but people don't know. When I got on when we got there, you know, and everything. And the scale that was provided to us, you know, it was off. So just us being in a rigmarole and just the excitement of the fight and training and media and all of this other stuff, we relied on that scale. And then once we got to, you know, to whatever, we knew going into that situation, we was between 5 and 6 pounds off, but we knew we could make it up during fight week. Easy work. But when we got on that scale and, you know, it was telling us we was good, and then we, you know, every day is telling us we good, we good. We get to the stadium and then that scale is telling us, no, you 5 whole motherfucking pounds off. In this day and age with all these divisions, people have to understand one thing when that type of information is dropped and looking at the amount of weight that they said they was off. A whole 5 fucking pounds. That is a whole division when you're talking about divisions between 110 and 124 or even 1. You feel what I'm saying? So that 5 pounds and even in some other divisions, that 5 pounds is a whole division up. So it's 135 to 140. Understand that nigga was a whole division off when he jumped on that scale. So you got to give him credit that they made weight. However, they managed to suck that weight off of that man. They sucked it off of him, and it showed when he got on the scale in that night. You feel what I'm saying? But the performance he put on for as long as he could perform, it was like, if he was, imagine this, would we be talking about Lamont Roach the way we was talking about Lamont Roach if Frank Martin was on point that night? Let's say there wasn't no issues with the scale and he was on weight and yada yada yada. So at the end of the day, it's just like, you know, maybe Frank would have been that guy to give Tank his first draw.
Yeah, and the way that fight started, that fight was like, I'm like, man, Tank, you turn it on, Tank. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
yeah,
but that's
like,
Tank will have you like that. Here, like my lady, when she watch my lady be, man, she be on the edge of the bed. She be like, man, she look at me, she be like, he'll drive you crazy, won't he? I like, yeah, I said, that's Tank, man. That's just, but that's why people like watching him. You know what I'm saying? You know, but let's talk about somebody that you're really high on, man. Because every time this conversation come up, you bring up this guy, one of the top ranks guys, Rohan Polanco. Because I know you real high on this guy.
Yeah. I watched a couple of his interviews. I watched his fights, and he has that. To me, the way he's talking now, I don't know what's going to happen once he gets famous or whatever, or, you know, once he gets a belt, I don't know. But he has that throwback fighter attitude that we are always looking for and asking from a fighter. That no nonsense attitude. It's like, look, to me, it don't matter what level you think the guy is. Just put him in front of me and watch me show out. And that's what I like about him. And I think that's the type of attitude at 47, you know, which if he's able to get a belt and Brian Norman is still there, that's going to be like that type of fight that people are like, bruh, this is a big fight. Like y'all really don't understand. This is like this guy and this guy Polanco is doing this thing. He's no nonsense. He's showing he could box. He got power. He's got ring IQ. He's got some intelligent feet and things like that. Look at who's training him, bro. He has all the tangibles. It's will he show up? Will he be that guy that, you know, that when Brian Norman got his, like, I think I'm gonna just say me and you dubbed it your Eminem lose yourself in a moment type fight. will
Mm-hmm.
he show up like Brian Norman did versus Santillion? So when he gets that opportunity, will he lose himself in a moment and then say, "Yeah, we got"? I know B Norman's one of the champs, but listen, I'm right on this kid's tail. I'm right on that man's tail.
He got he got some work to do because I know right now they're saying that he's calling him out. He you know he's saying he's saying all the right things and he's doing right by calling out Brian Norman. But I think he gonna have to clear out some people. He gonna have to get busy. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have to show because he just got a Quentin Randall. I wanted him to get rid of. I wanted him to make a statement of versus Quentin Randall, but I think Quentin Randall is more than meets the eye with Quentin Randall, man. I wanted him to get him out of there. But
In that fight,
he gotta put some he gotta put some some names on that resume, man. He gotta for his own good, I believe too. Like because he gotta make noise.
Yeah, because that his last fight, yes, the guy was extremely tough, but my biggest issue with you right now, Rohan, is exercise patience. You were a little bit more patient before. Now that the level of competition and you're seeing people start to talk about you, you don't have to put yourself in a position or in a mindset that, oh, I got to knock this guy out. You just have to win. That's it. You just have to win. So if you take that type of attitude, that takes the pressure off the knockout. And if the knockout comes, or the TKO comes, or that shot that allows you to set something up, then be patient and let that happen. And I think this might be the same thing his corner was telling him after that performance, because to me, my biggest knock with that performance was you didn't exercise enough patience. You were looking for that knockout way too much, and there was plenty of body work that could have been done there and some other things that would have set up the knockout, but you just have to be patient.
And the way he fight, because he do be trying to knock your block off. But if you get in there with somebody that's like skilled with a higher output, he might be able to be outboxed head hunting like that. He will go to the body, and he do got that guard. He do, you know what I'm saying? He got a nice little guard, but he almost got that mastered. Like once he got a little work to do, just a little bit of work to do, you know what I'm saying? Because the veteran will figure it out. But once he really mastered that guard, he got, because he do that shoulder roll, he kind of got it. You know what I'm saying? He gotta perfect it. He gotta add a couple more wrinkles to it. But once he mastered that, he'll be good. But like I think right now, somebody with a high IQ and a high output, if he keep doing that head hunting instead of like breaking them down.
Yeah.
All right, this round I want to do this. This round I want to get him to do this. This round I want to see, like be a little more strategic, and like you said, patient. He'll be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He definitely got my attention.
No, he's got my attention and Ben had my attention for a minute. And after the last performance, looking at where he's on the trajectory he's actually on right now, my biggest fear is you get in there with some awkward dude like Charles Conwell, and he just fucks up your rhythm and timing, and then you get in the mindset, all right, other things that I kind of worked on are not really working for this guy, so I'm just gonna try to knock this dude out, and then you wind up, losing a close fight because you might get yourself caught in that type of mindset. That's just like a 5% fear, but who's working with him and things like that, I believe they'll steer him away from that, and if he starts to move down that pattern in the fight, they'll try to talk to him to make the adjustments and stuff. But overall, I think he's the guy that can really, really make a lot of noise. That's why I'm probably being a little bit extra critical on him at this moment, because I'm a person sometimes like this. I'll be a little critical on my favorite guy because I want to be heavy on them and point out the things that I can see them losing or things that'll cause them to have bad showings and stuff like that. So when they go in there and they kind of make it look easy against the tougher competition, it makes me kind of eat the kind of humble pie that I like. I like being wrong about those situations. You feel what I'm saying? When I'm breaking down the fighter I like, but I'm like, yeah, but on the opposite side, I feel like this and that could be like his weak points, and then he just cleans all of that up. I'm like, oh my God, I like this dude even more because you're proving me wrong, bro. I love that shit, man. Keep proving me wrong. Beautiful work, man. Beautiful fucking work. You know, and to me, I guess I don't know if I'm alone in that weirdness of being a boxing fan, but that's sometimes, you know, most of the time what I do with guys that I like. I look for ways of how other fighters can beat them.
I do too. I do it.
Yeah. And
that's why I like when people are objective, but see, I don't like, we're in the era now where, and I'm seeing this more online, like, whereas there's some people that's just, they're not going to have any give. Like, their fighter can't do no wrong, their fighter has no flaws, and they're not going to, even if they know it, they're not going to give on it. You know, I'm not like that. I'll tell you, hey, well, he do got a problem. Like, yeah, he'll get, like, if I was saying something about Tank, I'll say, yeah, it'll be time where he get distracted in the ring. Yeah, he's a slow starter. You know, things like that. Like, I could tell you, like, all of these guys, like, and I could tell you what makes me nervous about the fights. Like, but that's having a objectivity. Like, everybody now just they want to be right, and they want people to gamble based on what they say about them and stuff like that. You actually a real fan who like to look at, you know what I'm saying, the possibilities and all that. Because, like, just like when we broke down So Cold and this show, when we broke down So Cold and Pacheco, we gave what the week, okay, what So Cold could do, you know, what Pacheco had to do, what it was going to show. I think we were pretty equal about it, and some people still wanted us to be like, nah, son.
Yeah, like, what you mean So Cold? I'm like, nah, bro, he's still my guy, but he's not gonna win this fight because the numbers are against him, bro. All the numbers are against him. He's still my guy. I'm still gonna be a fan of his. I'm still gonna talk him up after the loss.
But yeah, I don't want to make nobody mad, man. I'm just playing around right now. But look, speaking of Rohan Polanco, man, I always bring up this guy because this is my dark horse guy. I actually have two, but this is my dark horse guy, Tito Mercado.
Okay.
And I said, man, I would love to see Tito Mercado and Rohan Polanco get it on, because I think Tito Mercado, I kind of think he lightweight, like he's nobody might not agree with me, but he's a boogeyman right now, man. Like, he's I can honestly say at 140 pounds, he's a boogeyman.
Like, I think Mercado is just one solid name away from that title. I don't think people really know who Tito Mercado really is. And, you know, for most people, boxing fans will equate Tito Mercado to the guy after his stoppage was talking shit to Shakur, knowing that Shakur beat his ass. I think this is the guy that people think Tito Mercado really is. And it's like, bro, that dude did what he did in the ring and looked over at Shakur and said, tell that bitch ass dude, Shakur. I was like, Tito is wow, bro. I love that energy. That shit was gangster as fuck to me when he did that. He said both bitch ass Keyshawn and fucking Shakur. I was like, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. But the goofy ass, Shakorians and Keishanites, bro, they was like, who the fuck is that Mercado dude? What his name? Macaroon or what? You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, no, that's the dude that just caught an impressive win, and he called both them dudes a bitch.
Look, I'm gonna paint a picture for like those who haven't done their research on Tito Mercado. When it came, let's go back. The only one that went the distance, and the only person that survived, he's 17-0 with 16 knockouts. It's only one person that got off the hook, and that was Indo Jenny. Indo Jenny is 31-2. He's 31-2-0. He's the only one that survived, and that was a 10-round fight. Tito, the interesting thing about him is he hasn't even had a 12-rounder yet. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't even had. Think about this, y'all. He's 17-0 with 16 knockouts. He hasn't even had a 12-rounder yet. When it came down to this, the picture I want to paint. When it came down to Nakatilia, we all seen how Shakur fought Nakatilia. Let me go to him. Nakatilia, him and Shakur fought. It went 12. So he fought Shakur on 6/12/2021. On 11/11/2023, Tito Mercado knocked him out in the second round. Now Raymond Mortaia was able to do the same thing. Was able to get the stoppage, but he knocked him out in the second round. You know, he don't play around. This the other thing. When it came down to Jose Pedraza went in there, and we all know that's the one who, the Tank is known for getting his strap off of Pedraza, right? But Keyshawn TKO'd him in the 6th round. Tito Mercado stopped him in the 4th. And people because it's convenient when people want to say, okay, well, what can this guy do? Let's put him in there with this. So as fans, we match make these guys, and we say, okay, we do the triangle, because people say, oh man, that's triangle theory. It's like, no, it's not a theory. Because that's what they do. It's called common opponent. When you don't call it triangle theory, it's the same thing as common opponent. Yeah, I hope we all know that that's what we're doing when we using triangles. That's when we talk about common opponent. So when they say, oh man, this common opponent was such and such, common opponent was such and such, what Roach and Cruz is getting ready to do, common opponent with Tank, that's the same thing. So he's actually getting in the ring with these guys, and these guys are not, he's crumbling these dudes, he's hurting these dudes. And a lot of people criticize his performance with Pedraza, but it was one of them things to where he was rushing and being impatient, and he got it done in 4 rounds. That's scary, and he's not scared. That was the day when Shakur and Keyshawn were ringside. He called them bitches to their face when they was there. He was like, yeah, I know these bitch ass dudes. Neither one of these dudes gonna fight me. And they didn't say nothing. They was like, oh man, look at him. Ha, you know what I'm saying? Go. They laughed him off. So that's why I like him, man. In his interviews, he talked that spicy. He talked real spicy, and he's willing to back it up. He just wanted an opportunity. That's why I think he's very scary. I think he probably has to learn. I'm not saying that he should change, but with the mindset he got, and if he keep going in here damaging, they're gonna make it very hard, because nobody really wants to risk it. He's being viewed as high risk, low reward right now. Yeah. And that's my dark horse at 40.
He's my dark horse at 42. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, like I said, he puts up solid performances. I, for me, I want to see him where I would feel really secure in making that full throated endorsement is basically all right. You make that move, you get that tough named fighter. Let's damn uh I'm trying to think of a good name at 40 for him to fight, but basically he gets a good name at 40. You feel what I'm saying? And then let's see you jump out of building and say, you know what, I might take on Richardson Hitchens. You feel what I'm saying?
I got one for you, like a Jermaine Ortiz.
Yeah.
Let him fight a Jermaine Ortiz, because Jermaine Ortiz, he one of my guys. I didn't put him here because I don't know if he's a 40 or a 47 now. Like, he might be a 47 now. I think he might be, which I'm not sure how he'll do, because he's like a boxer. But like, yeah, I would like to see if Jermaine Ortiz would afford Tito an opportunity and see what he can do against a guy like Jermaine.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
Jermaine arguably beat Lomachenko and Tio. Like, I would say I give him the nod definitely with the Tio. Like, well, it was politics, but like Loma, people do say that. I thought Loma kind of edged it, but some people do say Tito. But it's arguable that he beat both of them.
Yeah, for sure. Now, for me, before, like, I would see. I don't know. I'm looking at Hitchens, Gary, and Sabril, and saying, all right, who would be his toughest fight? You got the guy that can outbox your brains out in Hitchens. I think if you try to box Hitchens, you lose to Hitchens. Gary Antoine, he's coming into developing the Gary Antoine style. It's a little freestyle, it's a little loose, but it's dangerous and it presents some weird angles. It's like, trying to fight Leon and Michael Spinks at the same time. You feel what I'm saying? You may not know what you get from round to round, but if you catch his timing, you got a good chance of making the night difficult for him. Sabril is going to be there for him to hit, but it's what's coming back at him that makes me wonder, is he built like that? You talk crispy in both the interviews I seen with him. I was loving the energy. I was like, bruh, this dude bringing that to 140. Whoa. And I don't talk about Tio because I don't think Tio will fight him, period. He's gonna, who is he? What has he done? But these other three guys, I think they'll fight him. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
I think Richardson, man. I think Richardson probably be the toughest one for him, in my opinion. I think Gary. I think Gary. He kind of set in his ways, man. I think he gonna press you. Him and his brother, him and Mr. Gary Antoine and Mr. Gary are two different fighters. If Gary Antoine fought like Mr. Gary Russell, he would be damn near like impossible to beat. Like damn near,
bro.
Like he just likes to press. Like he that's why I call him the butcher, man. That shit gonna look ugly, but he gonna go in there and he gonna try to slaughter you. And if you can't deal with that pressure, if you don't know how, like if you don't have the finesse of a Puello, who I think happened to have, exceptional feet, and he was defensively sound. I think that's the only reason why he was actually really able to do it, and that fight was really close. I think that that's I think with Gary Antoine and Tito, because Gary likes to press. I think it'll open him up to get caught, and Tito he got power, bro. It ain't no
Yeah.
questioning whether or not he can crack or not. The dude can crack. Sabril Matias, I think my man, I think I got one of my subs is mad at me right now. I don't know why he stopped coming, but Koki, he used to be here all the time. I don't know, but I think it might have been my assessment the last time of Sabril, and I said that, man, at this point, man, I don't like the way Sabril's fighting anymore, and I want that man to be able to like function after boxing. And it's just at the point now to where it's only up from here. The competition is only going to be like up from here. He's not going to get no easy outs, and the people that they're going to match him with is going to be hitting him. I just think he get hit too much. He will not be able to sustain Tito Mercado like with Puello, because Puello is nice and he's accurate, but he don't have that crack.
Yeah.
Like Tito, and I think Sabril, yeah, he'll present some problems for Tito. I think Tito make an adjustment, and once he land a couple of them things on him, that's over. Like you said, I don't think Tito will fight him, and I think Richardson Hitchens is that'll be a boxing clinic, and I think because I'm looking at how reserved he was when it came down to Pedraza, and Pedraza's like he's long in the tooth. Richardson Hitchens can box, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that would be, in my opinion, because Richardson gonna straight box him. Like, he gonna box him.
And Richardson is showing that even though I'm under a 10-pound rehydration, I do have power to stop you. So if your body is not in top conditioning, or I hear a rumor about your body, I'm going to fight off the jab and my smart feet. And as I'm coming off the jab, I'm going to set you up with something that's constantly just going to let me expose your body. So every other punch, you feel what I'm saying, is a body shot. And that shit is going to wear down on you as the fight goes on.
You cut out, AC. You cut out, bro.
Versus Caleb Plant, you feel what I'm saying? If you attempt to try to box him in any capacity, you make it an easy night for him. Yes, you got power, but it's going to be hard to deliver that power when the guy knows it and he's keeping you at the end of his jab and just picking you apart round by round and making it look not like it's a boring fight. He's making it look like an entertaining technical fight, which I think may wind up frustrating him and exposing himself to more. If he was ever gonna fight Hitchens, he would. It's not. Is it Puello? No, I would say, to let me know you can even compete with Hitchens, you gotta let me know that you can beat Sandor Martin and not in a close fight.
Sandor, he's sneakily one of my favorite boxers, man. I just don't see him enough, man. Exactly. Sandor Martin is nice, bro.
He's nice to me, bro. That's why I'm saying, if there was even with Sandor's losses, and I don't consider them shits losses, because I actually had him winning a couple of them joints, and I think it's the couple that I think that's all he got. But basically what I'm saying is this.
The
technical matchup in boxer versus boxer, and we talking about this type of skill match, boxer versus boxer, it's Sandor Martin versus Hitchens. That to me is a dream fight of two boxers at 140. the two who I deem as the actual two best boxers, pure boxers. So I would probably throw Alberto Puello in there as a tournament style or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
pure
much those.
hardcore.
Yeah,
Mhm.
pretty much those three guys. Those to me are the pure boxers, and if you could beat either one of them, and it's not a close fight between Sandor and Puello, then I'd say I think you're ready for Hitchens.
Good stuff. I should have put Sandor on here, man. That was the sleeper. I should have put Sandor on here. Let's go into Nicholas Flaws and Tiger Johnson. They got a fight coming up. That's welterweight, and that's Prentice Brewer. That's Prentice Brewer guy. Tiger Johnson. I was kind of high on Tiger Johnson, especially when I first seen him. I was like, who is this guy? This guy, he was letting his hands go. He had some crack. And then it was almost like I kept seeing him and he kept going the distance. And then he moved up. And so here recently, I think I seen him up against Boca Chica. And Prentice Brewer was going ham, telling him let his hands go and basically do what we was working on. So this is a show improved fight for him with Nicholas Flaws. Like, Nicholas Flaws is one of the darlings of Pro Box.
Yeah.
And he went the distance. That was his first 10 round. Now that was his first 10 rounder. This is his second 10 rounder in Tiger Johnson. And so this is Nicholas Flaws is a high volume puncher, man. He's the only one to put a blemish on Jahad Tucker's resume before Jahad moved up, and got to where he was. That's why I respect Jahad so much, because he didn't play weight games and stuff like that. That's why I always respect how he moved. But Boca Chica actually TKO'd Nicholas Flaws in the first round. That's very interesting news. And you gotta think, Boca Chica is the same one that gave Brian Norman those problems, before when people was questioning who Brian Norman was. That's very, very interesting. That was a no contest, 3 rounds. That's when they stopped it. Like,
yeah,
it was due to cuts on both of them. So that's very interesting. But so that makes sense now why Tiger fought Boca Chica and now he's fighting Nicholas Flaws.
Yeah.
The Boca Chica
You think
TKO.
he's trying to set himself up for a Brian Norman fight?
I believe that now, in my heart of hearts, this what might happen. I don't know who Rohan's going to fight, because they were saying that Rohan, I think they said it was either Rohan was going to fight Nicholas Flaws or it was somebody they wanted him to fight. But they're vying for Brian Norman. That's who they're vying for. But they might have to see each other. Because I remember hearing Prentice Brewer saying, all right, let us get, I think he said 2 more fights. I think he said, let me get 2 more fights with him, because I think they had just linked up and Tiger Johnson is new to the division. So he said, I want to get him, acclimated. I want to get him right. Give me 2 more fights, you know what I'm saying? And let me work with him.
Nicholas Flaws is actually ranked in the 11th spot. You feel what I'm saying for the WBO? He's ranked in the number 11 spot. Tiger is not even ranked yet.
don't know why they got number 12
Oh, guess who
beside him.
ranked? Yeah, I didn't hear you.
I said I don't know why they got number 12 beside him. Let me see. In the USA, let me see. They got he number 1. Well, I don't know. I don't know what that number 12 mean. They got him at number 12. They got a number 12 beside him in the USA. I don't know if that means.
I think that's his ranking at in the according to BoxRec's ranking of where the fighter is.
Oh, that's BoxRec ranking.
Yeah. All right. So guess who's you got Polanco at 7. He's ranked at 7 for the WBO. So we'll see. I mean, there's some good smoke for Brian Norman.
We'll definitely know if Boca Chica mess around and fight Rohan Polanco, we'll know that there was a mini tournament going on, a race to the norm, race to see who get Norman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Boca Chica is not ranked. You want to hear somebody who's sitting at a high spot?
Who?
Karan Kukachin. That to me, that would be an interesting fight to see Brian Norman versus Karan.
Yeah, that would be interesting because of the feet, because of them feet, like slippery when wet, man. Hey, that'll be a problem. Karen might give a lot of people problems, especially if he take away from what he learned in there with Boots. If he take away anything from that,
exactly. So, I'm not gonna lie. Out of everybody that's currently ranked, and there's some solid names in here. You feel what I'm saying? From Ellis to Jack Catterall, Polanco, Paro. You feel what I'm saying? Haney, Alexis Rocha. Karan is the one guy that makes me nervous for Brian Norman. You feel what I'm saying? Because he got some feet and he got some slickness with him that if he don't want to get hit, I don't think you're going to be able to hit him. And I think if Brian Norman could pull off something amazing in this fight, then it clearly shows why Boots got up out of 47, because we now know Brian Norman's ring IQ is highly, highly underrated. You feel what I'm saying? And for me, after the Devin Haney fight, honestly, that'd probably be the guy I want to fight next.
That's who you want to see him fight?
Yeah, for me, after Devin Haney, take on Karan. I think that would be a hella fight for him. Like, people will be like, they'll get up for that fight, because then the promotion is already baked in. The fans will talk about it. Yeah, but we saw what Karan did to Boots, and they're gonna triangle theory the shit out of that. Boots, Brian Norman duck Boots, and now he gonna face Karan and watch Karan beat his ass. Now we gonna see who Brian Norman really is, because we know that Karan is a blah 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 fighter, an elite fighter. All of a sudden he gonna become an elite fighter up against Brian Norman Jr. He's an elite fighter. Look, he did 24 rounds with Boots. Had Boots looking bad in the second fight. Well, both of them, he did his thing, but he had him looking bad in them fights. Karan ain't gonna fuck with.
All I'm gonna say is this. It's like, yeah, it'll be one of them things to where he might make Brian look a little bad because of them fancy feet, but I think that I think that I think the power is different, man.
Yeah.
I think Norman really got that lights out power. Like, people people know that Boots got power, but I'm not sure if it's like one punch knockout power like Norman. I think Norman really got like bricks. I think he really got like stone hands. Like I really think that he can really crack. Like if he line you up and he touch you, you ain't gonna be in there like getting touched all that. He will break. He's breaking stuff. He busting you up. Like he has that kind of power. It's not, you know what I'm saying?
Dare I say this? Now, this is one of those fighters that I can say I liked, and then I went through I'm questioning the shit out of who this dude is. You feel what I'm saying? I'm also gonna keep it a beam with the audience and say when he got his belt, I was calling for Boots or any of the champions to go after him, because at that particular time, just by basically what I was seeing in recency bias in performances, not knowing that he was really suffering from some hand issues and shit like that, it was more or less me saying, okay, he's the low hanging fruit. So he's the easiest person to beat. He's the most inexperienced, yada, yada, yada. This kid gets his hand fixed and his confidence is like through the roof. What I give him that I've noticed since his hand has been better is a level of discipline and patience, which I think has him do something to Karan that Boots couldn't do. I think he stops Karan because he has that patience. And when you have patience and understanding are two things that are crucial to ring IQ. If I got patience, I'm looking at what you're doing and I'm reading what you're doing. Mm-hmm. I think Brian Norman Sr. is a better coach and they have a better synergy. He says whatever his pops tell him to do in the corner, he goes out and he does that in the ring. So whatever his pops noticing, he's gonna notice and he's gonna let him know, all right, don't punch where he is, punch where he's going to be. And that's from patience. You'll be able to see that. If Boots would have imported something like that, then all the fancy feet in the world kind of go out the window, because Boots had Karan's timing, but he kept on punching to where Karan was, not where Karan was going to be.
And the other thing is, in the first fight, he figured out late that he needed to go to Karan's body. See, that's the whole thing. Like, that's why the channel is Bodywork, because I know, like, when you're dealing with somebody that do all of that, got them fancy feet and all that, you commit to the body. And that's the one thing I would say with Norman. I want to see Norman do more body work. If he incorporate a little more of that body work, right, it's gonna be dark for a lot of people for a long period of time, man. But that's it. Like, the key to Karan is that body. You got to be able to go to that body. Like, you got to slow that, and you got to invest early. You start putting water in the basement, a la Teddy Atlas. You know, you start putting that water in the basement early, it's gonna pay big dividends late. Like, they're not gonna be able to go like there. If it's scheduled for 12, start investing to that body by about the 6th round. It's like they're gonna have to make a decision. Yeah, and it talks to the legs. That's why they call it the sweet science. The legs get heavy. You know what I'm saying? The breathing because you're attacking the organs. The organs are saying, listen, man, some shit is going on around the rib cage area. You know what I'm saying?
When I think of Brian Norman, I'm gonna say it like this, man. It's gonna sound crazy. They headhunting, bro. I don't want, fighters to get hit in the body by you and they're suffering internal hemorrhaging and shit like that, because then it's gonna be like, what the hemoglobin haberdashery did I just fucking see? This dude hit this guy with one clean body shot and this dude still ain't get up, still on the ground like, oh. You feel what
Look,
I'm saying? Because
look.
I've seen this dude hit the bag, and the sound through me putting on my headphones and just letting it rock through that, and then listening to certain heavyweights hit the bag. I was like, this little dude shit sound like he's a heavyweight hitting that heavy ass, hard ass bag, bro.
I'm gonna tell you. Look, because Sabril did it, and Sabril, I think Sabril, he has is more than respectable, but it's the volume. But Sabril done it to where he done hit somebody and basically made him shit on himself. Like, I'm telling you, Brian Norman, if he start going to the body a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? If he start doing that a little bit more, man,
Bro,
it's
you
like
asking
people
that
gonna be
dude to
putting on
catch
the
your
stool.
body.
People gonna be, people really gonna be over there like, nah, man, I'm good, bro. Like,
He punch
I'm
you in
good.
your that dude punch you in your body, you gonna get liver cancer. Stop, man.
But let me tell you about let me tell you about my wild card, man. Blair, man. Blair. Blair is my wild card, and it's because he's unorthodox. He's a savvy veteran. He done sparred with a lot of people. And I think that he was not able to capitalize on the experience that he had with Adrian Broner. He was not able to capitalize on the experience that he had with Maurice Hooker. But if he's still at 147, and I think to a certain extent, this is what's going to happen with him and what's going to happen with Rashidi. Because I heard Rashidi and them jaw jacking with the Normans or putting their name in a hat. And I'm like, well, one of these two got to get active in order to even have a shot at that strap, if that's the way they're going to do it. The thing is, I didn't really see them ranked. I just know that Blair, over the years, even having the pleasure of being able to talk to him a couple times, but then seeing how the business of boxing did it, because they can't control him, they couldn't control the next move. I think he was too big of a wild card to where if he upset the apple cart, he'll be the one of them ones that could walk away with the belt because you don't have no tabs on him. So he just now got out. He got out of his deal with Don King. And I think he has the same guy that was behind Conor Benn, I believe. But we've been waiting to hear what the next move is from him. But he's definitely a wild card. If he get a shot at one of them belts, he's unorthodox, but he's savvy enough. He made his mistakes with Alexis Rocha. He did have his little, hiccup with Alexis Rocha. I think he learned, and he's been really patient waiting in the wing. They got him listed as inactive right now, but I don't know what's going on with him. That's my wild card at the welterweight division between him and Speedy Rashidi. Rashidi has been a little more active because he's been doing that combat league stuff and getting them rounds. And unfortunately, he was part of the ones that got smeared in that campaign because it's allegedly that he turned down 500. And him and the team called at the last minute to say, hey, we'll take it. And by then, Eddie had already said, oh, no, we already accepted the next fight. We're moving on. And his coach said that was the reason. It was a reason why. And I've seen the interview with Eddie who confirmed that they did that just basically so they could say, oh, we made this guy an offer. That's why the whole, we offered everybody a contract, that shit, that's not legit, man. You can't, it's more to those stories. But Speedy Rashidi and Blair, those are more so Blair being my dark horse of welterweight division, and I'm wondering what he's going to do. I don't know if I like him at 54, if that's where he's at, but what do you think about Blair in the division?
I like Blair at 47. I think he would actually be the dark horse for me at 47 because Blair is actually like one of the veterans. Like him and Speedy would be like veterans of that division right now. You feel what I'm saying? For me, where I am on where he is as far as competition level and stuff like that, I'm looking at who Blair is and everything about him and stuff like that. Um, I don't know if Blair gets himself a fight that puts him in position to get a belt. You feel what I'm saying? Blair is the type of guy to me that would be like the Clay Guidas of the division, the who am I? The Carl Parisians of this division. To whereas Blair, honestly, wherever you can make a fight, people are gonna tune in. Like trying to go after a belt and stuff like that is cool and everything, but really your most hardened fans and stuff like that don't see you getting a belt or getting in that position. The way Golden Boy curved you and shit like that, that pretty much took too much time away from you. If you find yourself in a position, trust me, man, all the fan bases and everybody, you're gonna be the Cinderella story. But where I would say your fans are now, we just want to see you in the ring. Just be active. We just want to see you in the presses and shit like that because we love the energy you bring to the sport. So the expectations are not really high. We would love to see you get a fucking Ryan Garcia, a Rolly Romero fight. I wouldn't even be mad about a fucking you and Speedy Rashidi getting it on.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
You feel what I'm saying? Both of you two niggas get it on, and it'd be like some UFC shit. The person who wins that fight get the contract to the house or get the UFC contract. So at the end of the day, man, try to make the fight with Speedy. Talk to that dude. You ain't really got nothing going on. I ain't really got nothing on. If we make this fight, they gonna promote this shit as both of our last stand, our last chance to put ourselves in title contention. Wouldn't you want to do that, Speedy?
You know what I would say? I would go for this guy. I would go for the Lewis Crocker. Because I think the guy that he got is affiliated across the pond. I think he is affiliation with across the pond. And a lot of people are gonna like that IBF. A lot of people they're gonna steer away from it because of that 10-pound rehydration. I'm like, go for that. That'll be one of the easiest ways in, I think, because I think it's always less people in that line than the other lines.
Yeah, I think so too. And that's a great ass point because at the end of the day, and something that just dawned on me when you said it, Blair can fight at 140 pounds. He fought, I believe him and Broner was at 140. So if you were telling people you could fight at 140 or 147, it doesn't matter. You can make both the weights. You going after the IBF, it's still a 10-pound rehydration. I think that belt would be perfect for you in your body type. That you can hold down that IBF belt until you get a unification, or if you even decide to unify.
Yeah, I gotta make sure. I thought they was at.
I thought it was 147, but then I was in. Somebody came on the panel at one point and was like, "No, it was at 140."
It was 147, but he weighed in at 145 and a half.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah. I stand corrected on that. The fight was at 147.
Yeah. So
for me, at the end of the day, to me, that's the fight to make for Blair right now. Just go after Speedy. You and Speedy have an amazing fucking presser. Even if y'all somewhere, even though y'all won't be the main, when it comes down to the pressers, y'all gonna take over the energy like y'all are the main event. So, you know,
And to
go
to
ahead.
round it, well, to round everything out, let's see. Only one we didn't talk about was Ryan. I had to put him up there. We got De La Santos. I don't know what's going on with De La Santos. Liam Paro made his debut at 147, which I thought was pretty interesting. And then we got Keyshawn, which I think he belongs at 147 because remember I was telling y'all, I was like, man, I seen a picture with him and Avius Griffin, man. I was like, man, I seen him, Avius Griffin, and was it Tiger?
Yeah.
I think it was Tiger. I was like, man, Keyshawn bigger than both of them. Like, and somebody didn't want to believe me, but I was like, hey, man, like this dude, he should be up there, man. Like, and I think it'll be better for him, man. Like, if he come back at 40, that's cool. It's work at 40. I just hope that it ain't gonna be a whole bunch of like that. I didn't like that whole what's his name? What's the guy he lost? Who's the guy that they lost to? What's the guy that his brother lost to?
Oh, I forgot his name. The R&B singer dude. What the fuck is his name? Oh, I cannot remember his name right now. I cannot remember his name.
Not here, all bright.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, I wasn't. It's bittersweet. It's like I know it's a business, and Nair want to get back. I would set Nair Albright up with somebody where he can, possibly put himself in line for a title shot or something at 40. Like put him in there with somebody as an eliminator or something. But like I'm done. I'm ready to see Keyshawn like. Because all of these guys, when we force fed that these guys are superstars and they can do this and do that, it's like I want to apply the same pressure that everybody applying to Tank. It's like, well, if they all of this and all of that, apply the same pressure that everybody applying to Tank to everybody else. But it's like, no, they got to get their feet wet. And they got to do this and they got to. It's like, no, man. So I'm ready to see Keyshawn. He had a title. He was a champion. There was a lot of smoke to be had, man. And for him to move up to 40, he moved up to, that's my division. That's the row. Like that and 54, like the most competitive divisions in boxing. I think welterweight division is slowly bridging that gap. As far as being competitive because these guys got to settle in at 47, not just be, oh yeah, I'm there. Like, because I don't think Liam Paro belong at 47. It's like I don't believe Pitbull should be at 40. I just think that I don't think that he realistically I think he a Pinata at 40. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I see it. I don't think he had the dimension. I don't think Kambosos belong at 40. He definitely don't belong at 47. But that's just some people with the frame and the reach and the skill set. Some people don't belong up there,
Yeah.
But I wanted to include them guys to round it out, huh?
I think Keyshawn, in my opinion, I think he belongs at 47. I hope 40 is a pit stop for him. I would love to see Keyshawn versus Frank Martin at 47. You feel what I'm saying? I would love to see Frank Martin, listen, Blair, talk Frank Martin seeing if you can get a fight with him at 47.
Ooh, that's interesting.
You feel what I'm saying? So for
That's
me,
interesting.
yeah. So for me, just to round everything off, and Ryan, I like Ryan at 47. I don't think he was up for the Pitbull. I don't think he was up for the Rolly fight. Let me take that back. I think he was kind of up for the Rolly fight, but that Joseph Brown work that Rolly was getting, I think that kind of sharpened him up a lot, or aided in some of the more sound technical fighting he was doing, because you would think that two guys that have a martial arts background, or MMA background, martial arts, they would gel and click immediately once they met each other and found that they have these two things in common, and yeah, we can start sparring. I'm gonna give you a fresh perspective on what I do. You'll give me a perspective on what you do, on how you deliver those power shots when you got somebody really lined up. Do you feel what I'm saying? As I'm getting older, I'll need to know how to really reserve and not shoot it from the shoulder, but mask it. So,
And what division is he in?
who Joseph,
Yeah.
he fights at 54.
Is he? How long he gonna be there? And what's the status on him?
He's they put him on solid cards, big cards, and people are getting a look from him. He's still at the point where he's looking for his next step up fight. According to him, his last 3 fights were supposed to be step up fights, but he got these guys out of there early and made it look easy. For the amount of rounds that he's fighting, these guys were supposed to be step up in those competition of his competition. He's looking to do more rounds and actually get tougher competition and stay on the trajectory that he's at, because he's on these undercards of a lot of these big cards. Floyd is like putting them there to let him be seen. He's kind of following, the Tank blueprint of just, making sure a guy he's into, he likes, is being seen on some of these big cards. So Joe is, he said I could, I'm going to be at 54 for as long as I can. He's 19. I asked him,
He's
does
6'2".
yeah, do you see yourself at 68? He was like, yeah, easy. I said, bro, by the time you finish looking at your pops and shit like that, you might be, at cruiserweight, as far as I'm concerned, or light heavy or something like that. You're going to be up there like around 200 pounds, looking at your height and shit like that. So, yeah, I could see you way up there, from 54 right now. But yeah, he's already accepting the fact that he's going to be moving up in weight, and there's just going to be times where he's like, oh shit, I don't think I can make that weight no more. So he's hyper focused on his career. He's really focused, and he spoke about the sparring that he did. He was humble in it, and he was like, nah, I don't want to, whatever. And I was like, bro, steel sharpens steel. So at the end of the day, I think any good young fighter, for them, it would be an honor to have you in there and giving them good work because of your background and shit like that. So hold your head high, man. Keep getting that good work and shit like that. So he's definitely in a good place.
Excellent young man, man. Excellent young man.
And I want to see Ryan come back, and as far as De Los Santos, yeah, he's up in the air. But De Los Santos is another one of these guys that, win, lose, or draw, you still want to see De Los Santos fight, because he still has that unknown tangible that you fuck around and find out. You'll be looking up at the at the big screen and the clock like, wait a minute, how the fuck did I get down here? So, that's why I like De Los Santos. He's still one of those guys for me that I'm still going to tune in to watch. He's in my opinion, he's probably one fight away from, that the serious conversation is De Los Santos now a gatekeeper? So he's got to turn some shit around because I think he's still viable, but is he viable for championship? I don't know. Is
He
he
gotta get
viable?
he gotta get active, man. He gotta get active, man.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it for me. I just want to see him more because I think with him, if he's more active, um, you'll get a better reading of where he is and is he really in position to be a champion. So or be a champion. De Los Santos had a belt before, correct?
No, he fought Shakur for that vacant.
Oh, yeah,
No,
that was the big
he
thing.
didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't have a belt.
So, I mean, for him, he could be, he needs to be active so he could make himself relevant for a good run at a belt. And other than that, man, this was a great cook, good work, great work, man. You feel what I'm saying? So on to the
Yeah, I
next one.
wanted to have a fun one, man. I appreciate you stopping through. I wanted to have a fun one because boxing is thirsty. It's thirsty because it's like people were saying, no, this guy, this is who it is, and boxing is saying, no, we don't. No, what about these other? You got something else, like no, this is the guy. It's like no, that's like, okay. I hear what you're saying. He got to step it up. Boxing is thirsty, so I wanted to kind of highlight these, and we're gonna do another one of these and focus on 54 with some of the some of the ones that's out of the shadows because all of these guys are in the shadows like right now.
Yeah,
Even though Keyshawn and Ryan and Keyshawn, they've been to the forefront, right? Keyshawn had a title, he just had a snafu. Ryan, it's like he right there where it's like he's world level. He just got to get his mind right, and he got to get focused because a focused Ryan, 100% committed. But when you got all that bread, you're not going. I mean, it's like how committed can you be? Because it's like he might be spoiled, and he might just be the way it's like, why I gotta be all I could make money this way. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know. So we're gonna have another one of these. I just wanted to have a fun episode. We're gonna have one about 54. We're gonna have one for 54 and one probably combining 30 and 35.
Yeah. That'll be a good one. You feel what I'm saying? The combining of 30 and 35.
Yeah, because they pick and choose when they want to, it's like with Frank, it's like with Lamont. Lamont moving up, fight tank at 35, even though he fought there before, and then going to 40. It's like it'd be interchangeable. You know what I'm saying? 30 and 35, because it's like a lot of the guys at 30 could be fighting at 35. They just, they can make the weight, so they're down there. You know what I'm saying? But you see how fast Schoolboy coming up.
But I think a lot of dudes at 30, at 35 should be at 30. Like, there are a couple of guys I think that are like, I don't know. Your frame is like a little extra light in the ass.
Look, I'm gonna be real with you. Pitbull Cruz should be at 35.
Yeah.
Like he just need to, if he was on a regiment, like he's a terror at 35. He's a terror at 35, man. I just think that he don't wanna have a regiment and not eat and stay, on weight. Like, cause he's a tough out at 35, like with his chin, the chin he got, and how he built like a juggernaut, like that style and that chin that he got, he's a tough out at 40. He just don't have the dimensions for it.
I've even pondered Pitbull Cruz at 130. I'm like, I look at certain dudes at 30. I'm like, you niggas look like 140 pounders. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, I'm like I like I like Pitbull Cruz at 30, but I think he knows he can. To me, it just looks like he actually would do so much better at 130. Just that extra 5 pounds, and then when you rehydrate, you're gonna rehydrate at like your maximum space to be like, yeah, I'm super duper effective now. I'm a little bit lighter on my feet. Um, you know, I feel like, one big human electrolyte. Like I'm just ready to go, go, go. At 130, he looked good, but he also looked like, I don't know, bro. You look to me still like a 130 pounder. Even when he fought Tank, I was like, you look like you should be down at 130. And that's like my big thing with Pitbull. It's to me he just looks like where you're at, and even fucking around at 35. Yes, both of those divisions, when your name started to really ring bells, those are the divisions where some money fights are. But bro, I just think you're a 130 pounder. I could be completely off. You may look, horrible at times when you need to get on the scale at 130. But I just think, just the way he looks to me, it's like your face ain't gonna get no tighter. Your face is just as tight as it's gonna be whether you at 135 or 140. So, bro, look at 130, please. Just look at it. I think that's your division. I think you own 130 if he was there. I think if he was there, he'd probably be. We would be questioning why Lamont Roach got up out of Dodge, and whatever you're gonna do, Lamont, vacate that belt so Pitbull can become, undisputed at 130. I think at 130 he beats all the champs.
But that's food for thought, man. But yeah, good session, man. Good fun session, man. Open it up. We got off the beaten path, and hopefully people learned about some people that they didn't really know about. Let me give Jose Rodriguez this assessment real quick. Nicholas Flores. Nicholas Flores is he's a fan-friendly fighter. High activity, high volume. He's more than just respectable power. He got like a 60-something% knockout ratio. And the sentiments around him is that he's much CTV. He did get stopped one time, and that was a minute ago, by Boca Chica. That's the guy that gave Brian Norman those problems. The same guy that just went the distance with Tiger Johnson. But he's a darling at Pro Box. They love him, and he's gonna rise up from that and become something. Like, they're pushing him. They're saying that he could be, one of the guys that really push the sport forward. So I think that he's a rhythm fighter. So, I'll assess it. I assess him like this. You gotta be able to disrupt his rhythm. I told you guys, like, when you dealing with most of my fighters anyway, they do body work. Tiger Johnson's gonna have to go to his body. He cannot get rocked to sleep. He cannot shell up and go high guard and just be a punching bag, because Nicholas Flores, once he get going, and he start, pulling that trigger on you, you better answer, or he gonna crank up the volume on you. You got to be disciplined. You got to work off your jab. You got to be able to move your feet. You know what I'm saying? Make him work for everything. You can't let him get cranked up, but he could pretty much punch at all times. He's punching like from all different angles. Like, he's just letting his hands go. You can't do it. I mean, easier said than done. But it can be done with the right game plan. You just gotta be committed to him and don't let him stay in his rhythm. You know, I think it's a tall task for Tiger Johnson, but the way his coach believe in him and what he's seen and how, you know, Coach Prentice Brewer, he believes in Tiger Johnson and he sees the potential in him. And he say, man, this man just, you know, if he pretty much just do what he's supposed to do like fight how we train, he'll be good. Now, I don't know what his I love to hear his assessment of this going into Nicholas Flaws, but they pretty much gonna keep everything close to the vest. But we get to see them soon, man. They getting ready to fight here. Big test for Tiger Johnson and Nicholas Flaws. Tiger Johnson gotta let his hands go. Gotta let his hands go. He should be coming into his grown man strength at 26 years old. He did have power. He did go to the Olympics. You know, he gotta stop. A lot of the fighters, this is a big issue that I see with a lot of guys who can't separate themselves from the pack. The tale of a true fighter is what happened in those middle rounds. What's happening in between round 4 through 8 and 9? I'll say round 5. From 5 to round 9. That's what separates you. And I noticed that a lot of guys that like I would be more in tune with, or that I would do more content on. Like I actually like them, but I would do more content on them. The biggest problem that stopped me from some of these guys is that they fall asleep in the middle rounds. It's like they start off good, or they had a fill out round to where they figure something out. They might get off a good shot, and then those middle rounds 5 through 9, it's like they fall asleep. It's like it's just the same thing over and over again. Rinse, wash, repeat. Nicholas Flaws isn't like that. He must see TV. He's gonna let his hands go at all times and give you a show to watch. Very exciting, rhythm type fighter. And that's my breakdown. Hopefully everybody enjoyed this show, man. I appreciate AC for stopping through as always.
Yeah, for sure, man. Great show, man. Subscribe, like, man. This way y'all know y'all gonna get the unbiased content. You feel what I'm saying? Like Body said, this way you get the, you know, those fruits and veggies and not that Reggie. So on to the next one, Body. Great show.
All right, man. Enjoy your evening. And Jose, you said, like Norman after the Santillan fight, I feel the same about Flaws after the Figueroa fight. Yeah, where he pretty much found himself. He has an identity, and they love him. You know what I'm saying? They love him, man. I'm excited about it. You know, I'm ready to see 47 get back to his glory. Yeah, they got better. Yeah, I'm ready to see 47 get to its glory time. Right now, I'm calling it D block because it's not as glamorous, but the welterweight division is stacked. It's just they gotta mix it up. I think that, you know, Boots leaving. You know, I don't like the whole like Manny Pacquiao need to go sit down somewhere, man. Respectfully, you know, he's a legend, and everybody gonna keep taking that bag and that money, but he really do need to go sit down somewhere, man. And let these young guys tough it out, man. Let these young guys establish a king. You know, you gotta think, man. The division got held up with the Earl Spence and Bud thing. It was a lot of people caught up in that pipeline, man. There was a lot of people that got their dreams and their hopes put on hold. You know, there's a lot of careers that was affected by that, because you got to think about the Crowleys. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm, you know, like a huge fan, but this is just an example. You got to think about Blair the Flair. You got to think about those guys that would have been next up or next in line, or been able to, like, you know, do some things if all of the belts weren't locked up and we were waiting on that mega fight. And once that mega fight happened, you know what I'm saying, it was a little stagnation there and everybody was waiting to regroup. We did go ahead and get Stan Giannis, who took the step aside, and, you know, Virgil did move up, you know, to get up out of the division. But it was a lot of competition behind those guys. They were just the marquee guys. And so welterweight division, it could surge back. It could get back very much, like especially once these guys start fighting. Now that Ryan is up there and Devin is up there and Brian Norman is at the helm, I think Norman is the man to beat right now. You know, I think that between Devin and Mario Barrios, resume wise, you know what I'm saying, like they're competing, but Barrios has a nice resume, even though he's not winning, but he's looking more like people gonna want him as a notch on their belt. And Rolly, he's the wild card, but a Rolly and a Blair to Flair, you know, you throw Rashidi in the mix with his experience, you know, if he were to able to climb up there and get a shot at some point and people stop, you know, giving him such a hard time, because after the Villa fight, which by the numbers, I think he beat Villa, but they was not going to give him the decision with Villa turning on that late. We should have got a Speedy Rashidi and a Boots at 47. That shouldn't have held that fight back to where, even though, yeah, Boots made his name by stopping Villa, but we really should have got a Boots and Speedy. And Speedy been on the outside looking in, but like welterweight is stacked. I want to have a fun segment, man, when we get off the beaten path. We talk about some guys that people might not know, you know, and we, you know, talk about some possibilities and let people know. AC got some of his guys, we got dark horses, we got people that, like, if given an opportunity, you know, if these guys don't play hardball, if people really want to be on some Highlander type shit where they want to actually show and prove there can only be one, like that Jet Li movie, then we're gonna see some things at welterweight, man. And this Nicholas Flaws and Tiger Johnson, the fact that this is even coming about right now, the Brian Norman and Devin Haney on November the 22nd, the fact that that's even coming up right now, like, this is the tip of the iceberg, y'all. So this is Fruits and Veggies, Not That Reggie, that fact-based content, not opinion-based, even though we have ours. You know, silence is consent is the motto of the channel, which means that all it takes for evil to prevail is for men and women to remain silent. So there are things that we speak to, like, don't be one of these hindsight is 2020s. Don't be one of these people that can dish it but don't take it. Don't be a full-time, partially thorough ass person. You know what I'm saying? Be thorough all the way around. Practice what you preach. Stop gaslighting. And make content, you know what I'm saying, that people can enjoy, man. Stop harping on the 20% of the negative. Harp on the 80% good. And I think we're gonna be all right. I haven't been around who you thought was winning, Bud or Canelo. I did a video on that right before. I said I wasn't going to get into it because I was waiting for Bud and Canelo to get out the way. But I said my heart was pulling for Bud, but my mind, I said my boxing heart was pulling for Bud. My boxing mind was saying that Canelo was going to win. You know, but I said I did that video where Bud was going to shock the world. But I wasn't going to do like most of these people doing out here, to where, you know, they act like after Bud win, like they were the biggest Bud fans. We know who all the true hardcore Bud fans were. I don't know who a lot of these other people are out here being opportunists. I'm not going to be an opportunist. I said, you know, in my Boxer to Watch, I always had Bud as a closer. You know, I didn't really understand a lot of the moves outside the ring. You know, I was always an Earl Spence guy. And when he actually beat Earl, I had to give him his props. When he beat Canelo, I had to give him his props. You know, that's where I was at with it. But a good section, man. Hopefully everybody gained. Hopefully you was able to put something in your rucksack and march on for it. You know, I try to be a little different, man. Let's get off the beaten path, man. Let's get back to enjoying boxing, man, and being able to speak that real, that truth. Anyways, thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Welcome to Bodywork.